Oh, good evening. So I'm gonna use basic English this time, right? Because there's a lot of people in Hong Kong that watch these videos, and then I wanted to talk about how um, I had bought a server, and that enables people to use the internet to go on my website to download basic free softwares or basic free um, old um, ownerships drivers. So if I want to be able to use some apps and I cannot download to my computers, I can have the file for myself and some of the people that might be interested. And then the server is coming in, you know, soon on April. Okay, so April 22nd to April 29th, I'll have a server, and then I'll be paying for the streaming. And sometimes it might be slower because my internet is slower until I move. Secondly, I had heard that some of my movies and films, because it is in a because I threw away the plastic box DVD hub, and then people thought that I made a copy myself, but it's not. I've done it once in the US, but in Hong Kong I bought it in Jim Sa Zui, and it was only $39. I don't know if you remember back in time, there was a DVD store named Y Site， 以前有間叫 Y Site， 又係賣啲比較便宜嘅價錢嘅 DVD 嚟到推廣，to promote Hong Kong movies. So Hong Kong is known as the Hollywood of Asia, other than Bollywood in India. 即係印度有 Bollywood，香港係其中一個電影製作嘅影城，the film studio. And we are all very good at finance， 即係集資嘅。Because Hong Kong doesn't have gambling, doesn't have strip clubs, too much, and people don't go out too much at night. But at nighttime, people have drinking places when they argue with their girlfriends or wife, and then get out, and then they might go and have a drink and those kind of places. And then when they go, their friends might go with them. So that's the good designs of some of the Hong Kong pubs, clubs, bar, and halls. So, or the performances. So that's a good thing about Hong Kong. And Shenzhen. Next, I'll be busy for a week or 2 weeks to package things to move, right? And then I had discovered that so I'm helping some people in United States, or they hold a U.S. passport. So they hold U.S. passport. This is a UK British passport, and then because they are not sponsored or qualify for government housing in Hong Kong， 住唔到香港嘅政府嘅資助房屋。It's not because they're not welcome. I mean, we welcome people, right? But because if one of them come out and then their friends have their network and they think that their computing and pictures might leak out, then it's not good, So, and then some of them, they might become really sad and then they want to see if their friends might come to them, and then sometimes they don't eat, and then they forget things. They forget their schedule. They don't look at their time anymore. They don't check their emails. They don't talk to their friends or make recordings and things. So, but they can always talk to their bankers, And then sometimes if they become suicidal, they might write a note, where they want to be. And then with their wishes, right? I had heard that some of them becomes transgender. So for men, 即係除咗只係自殺傾向之外咧，有一啲可能會有即係想變身 so they want to transgender and change their body. So that's because they think that in society, men have to become responsible and more, but it is a controlled environment, in a course of 60 minutes. You are here to learn, and the person in position teaches. If within that 1 hour on the topic, he can't teach you everything, and you fail, then it's his failure. So hopefully that can decide. And then next, the way that transgender, I always thought that is imperfected, no way. And then I had read stories, and everything combined, I remember I read this, and then our blood circulation, boop, 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 circulates the body, and then sometimes we get, cut wounds or scratch, and then it heals, and you can't see it anymore, And I had looked into, all the scientific ways. It is possible, and because sometimes, try this, okay? And you lose all your testosterone. So man hormone, 男性荷爾蒙係 testosterone， 女性荷爾蒙係 estrogen。And then 如果你有陣時咁樣 using the teeth number， they have 1 to 30， 即係1至30幾號嘅牙齒牙醫嗰個，然後用個犬齒 the dog teeth。The sharp one 有啲尖尖地嘅喎，and then you lose your testosterone， 你會減低你嘅男性荷爾蒙。And then there is a way. Another way is that how else can I tell you? If you watch movies, sometimes you're like whoa, and then you breathe, then you circulate your blood, and you feel more rewind, and you can continue to be more understanding, or be more interpreted on the different topics. Oh my goodness, never seen that before. Where do I sort this or put this kind of knowledge inside the bookshelves or pictures? So that means you have to double, triple, quadruple, 5, 6, 7 copies and put it into the folders. I've never seen that before. Where do I put this one? So you have to make copies, and that's my database, and that's other people's database. So going with that, I think that Hong Kong is good because I was in Hong Kong schools, and For example, PE, physical exercise, only 2 times 1 week. And you ask, what? In America, we have PE every day. And that was, always good. And you see people, hey, you wuss, why are you sitting on the bench? I don't say it, but, you kind of look at them. Why is he always sick? And then you look at his grades, right? And then his grades are okay, B or A's or incomplete. So there's a grade named I. So there's A, B, C, D, F, and then there is I or P. So there's passing grade and then there's I, incomplete. And then later on in life, you look back and you're like, where is that, classmate? And he might be some kind of lab scientist or the one making medicines, or some other agendas or job descriptions or job qualifications. 即係有啲人咧，我哋香港係即係呢度唔好話我哋香港居住嘅人嘅學校有only 2 PE class right before according to schedule. So that enables me to understand sometimes momentary rewind. So I will be off the recording for a week or 2, but I'm always here. I live in Causeway Bay, and I had lived in the South District 南區住過啦。I lived in North District 北區啦，然後住過一啲商務酒店 so business hotels. And then I tried the boutique hotels. 如果時尚酒店係乜嘢啊？ And then of course it turns into business hotels as soon as you ask them, where is the Commerce Club or the Lions Club or the Commerce Hub? And then the whole 時尚酒店可能會即刻變咗做商務酒店嗰個狀況嘅。So that's how the Hong Kong hospitality and tourism is， 即係旅遊業同埋一個商務營運同埋集資嘅習慣。Next, I don't think it's a good idea to ever think about suicide， 即係話自殺傾向啦。No, don't do that. It's good for you to ask for a assessment. Tick, 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 tick. What have you bought this lifetime? 你今世人或者你嘅人生買過啲乜嘢？And then next they might look into your existing contacts, your phone. 喺電話度有啲乜嘢嘅電話啦。你有啲乜嘢嘅 training? What else? So with me, my first job was Boy Scouts. And then so they look at those, and then they will assign you for either protective custody or some kind of work. So that is your choice, and if you see somebody you don't like, you can raise your hand. I think I know him, and keep him away. But if crossing path, that might be the case, And sometimes scuffles, pushing or bumping without punching is less of a punishment. Like, in Singapore or in some kind of other nations, they whip you, don't do that again. Or sometimes you have to pay fine, I scratched you, I'll pay you a fine. So that's why sometimes, depending on your schedule, you don't leave your office or building. But if you do leave, hey, the boss is leaving the building. Right. So that's how some companies work. With me, I'm more gentle. You know, the children might be going to school, and things. So that's all. So hopefully I can share more on the computing issues, because some of you had called me master， 有啲人叫做師傅啊，然後雖然冇斟過茶或者冇 hey toast cheers， 都盡量講解下啦，share some information. And I know because sometimes you live in other cities and I live here, so you can't really always take everything and travel. It's like me, I always want to go to Dubai, because it's such a gigantic kind of designs, and I kind of want to feel like Little Man sometimes. Hey, wow, big building. Or want to go to other scenery, but there's the weekly schedule or monthly schedule or annual calendar that I have to consider. 即係有陣時我也唔想去飛去其他地方，因為有時間表同 calendar 要commit 要or progress 要有個時間表年齡需要去鍛鍊或者係受付託咁樣嘅，受付託，so 即係有好多責任，so 唔係成日周圍飛，好似以前細即係比較年輕咁，so that way hopefully these videos can be useful. Don't commit suicide and don't do it yourself. 唔好自己做because people have to fix it, and so hopefully looking into the movies, right? Let me tell you, there is a movie store that might have some of the older DVDs, and it is at so one thing, Hong Kong, you see me kind of smiling all the time because in America there can be some romantic comedies, 有啲叫做浪漫喜劇, and it is really good. So let me see if I can find the 尖沙咀旅社影貼。I kind of want to share about humor too， 即係有陣時講笑啦，香港人講笑啦 ，so Hong Kong jokes sometimes it's really mean， 即係好似and in America it's not. In America it's just like 好多本書喺呢度，你仲未揾到 ？That's all， 係 how do I explain to you？ 我點樣可以解釋俾你知 ？You didn't read that one? That one? And sometimes it's not on purpose. But when the Americans and the Americans compete, it's like, hey, I'm kind of behind on schedule. Why didn't you clean my suits yet? 大家住同一個dormitory， 或者係即係寄宿嘅大廈或者大樓，你去洗衫點解唔幫我洗埋啊？So those are kind of the Yeah. 咁有陣時咁如果one or twice, so if one or twice that the stacks kind of had extra, yeah. Excuse me. And let me look for the laser CD shop. And this is how fast I have to process information. It is a yellow plastic bag. 係黃色膠袋 is approximately at Cameron Road 金馬倫道喺諾士佛台嘅斜路下面 so the Loxford Terrace, yeah. And if you ask me how I look at the phone data, I look at the date 有時間啦，有大概嗰個月份同星期，我係通常計星期嘅。So in my mind, it's by weekly calendar. And then sometimes they ask me sometimes if you're always dwelling on your books, 你成日都喺屋檐下睇書好多時。How do you know the calendar? Don't you get lost? 即係會唔會失去嗰個叫做時間感或者方向感？Not really. Is I remember every year by sports, the Olympics, and有體育嘅項目啦，有選美啦，有NBA 啊、NFL 啊、FIFA 啊。Someone was there. Excuse me. 有一啲咧 so sometimes my pictures are double because I have to take a screenshot to repost. And then another topic I want